All right, this is session 3 of Song of the Milk-White Putrescence. I want to do a quick recap of what happened last time for Garrett's sake. I want to then I think I want to start with Garrett's love letter, get that on the table and sorted. And then from there, maybe we figure out, we have a discussion about what we think is going to happen with the session and what kind of scenes we think we're going to try to lean into. So last time in session 2, essentially the party minus Arcon, that's your character's name, right, Garrett? Arcon, yeah, minus Arcon, the Scion. The rest of the party went to the village of Frostdale and essentially began their investigation, trying to find out if there actually is a keeper in Frostdale, if there's actually a key in Frostdale. All that's a little unclear. I think it started to become more clear, though, as they investigated. What they've discovered is the people of Frostdale are a simple people, as you would imagine, folks in a somewhat remote, snowy village at the base of a mountain would be like, except some of them have demonstrated incredible reserves of intellectual power that does not otherwise match up with their behavior or their circumstances. So Pate, who comes from a long line of a proud, noble tradition, family tradition of torch-bearing, Pate has this deep mechanical insight. He created this bizarre mechanical contraption that is inside the inn, the Frosty Tankard. I should hope so. This large mechanical contraption that basically delivers food and beverage around the room and makes it so that Selma, the innkeeper, can basically operate the place by herself, right? This is a total wonder of the world. Like, if people knew about this, they would come from leagues and leagues away to see it, to witness it. Okay, and here it's just this thing that Pate made. We have evidence of old men who know a lot about statistics and probability. And I suspect if you poke around here and there a little bit more, you're going to discover there are other villagers who have this unusual intelligence. And it's not even an intelligence that necessarily carries through the rest of their person. It's just this one thing they're kind of focused on and they're good at. And so that's totally weird. We saw, upon further investigation, we saw that Pate has probably milk-white putrescence coming out of his body, out of his mouth and out of his ears. It smelled bad, like a putrescent should, and it was white. So that's probably, out of character, we know that's probably what's going on. In character, it's just a weird thing you guys observed, right? So that's kind of what's going on with that part of the story. We have this other part of the story involving the Shadow Court, which is Weary's order, his thief order. They are kind of a sort of Faceless Men style order of thieves and assassins. And Weary ostensibly is there for the mission, but also believes that the mayor of Frostdale has these letters that he received during the war that reveal the identities of certain Shadow Court members. And so that's a thing. We have, within that storyline, we've got this warrior maiden who has a giant claymore that she calls Shadowfucker. And we see her routinely, routinely, skulking around, whispering to Shadowfucker in the most obvious way of oh, we're gonna find them. We're gonna find these, Shadow Court people today. You're gonna drink deep of their blood. It's too obvious, right? She's she wants to be seen and heard doing this, right? Weary investigated a little further and observed her in her room in the inn and discovered her floating in the air with claymore jammed down her mouth and gullet as if she were the sword's sheath, okay? And just hanging there. We don't know what that means. It's weird. And then we have this other character who's come into town named Velo, who got in touch with Weary, who saw Weary. His motives are unclear, but he seems to be watching Weary. He at least observed Weary spying on the warrior maiden. And I think that's all we learned about him. But he's there, and his intentions are, he says he's there on business. He's there to like retrieve something or do something, but we don't know what he's up to. But he's definitely like an unusual character, but a friendly guy. And then I think we learned a little bit about Isabella Verga Strider, which is that she, what did we learn? I was about to call you Osmodeus. It's not right, though.
Logan.
Logan, yeah.
We learned that she was on the edge of town.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned that because several people knew that and were hiding that information, but we confronted one of them as they were leaving the frosted tankard.
Mm-hmm.
I should hope so. And we caught him in a whirlwind, and then our Templar interrogated him a bit.
Right, yeah. So we think that Isabella like lives on the outskirts of the village. Yeah. So is there any other information that we've learned? I feel like, oh, and also Weary got in touch with his contact, his Shadow Court contact in town. That's important in case you need to lead on that later, Weary. And I feel like that was basically what happened in total for the session. Is all that clear, Garrett? Okay, good. So let's talk about the custom move, the love letter that I've created for Arcon. I'm going to paste the text into the chat. And I will read it aloud. While the rest of the party spent the afternoon and, I meant to say evening there, afternoon and evening in Frostdale, you went ahead to the temple up to the mountain, or you went ahead to the temple up the mountain. You found the entrance to the temple, which is built into the mountain, as well as a small cabin nearby. That could be Isabella. Okay. You were not able to enter the temple, and you thought it best to not make yourself known to whoever is living in the cabin. Nevertheless, you were able to learn a few things about what is going on. Describe how you conducted your investigation, and then roll plus wisdom. And then you basically get to ask some questions, and on a 12 plus, you learn a lot. So first of all, Arcon, I just want to know, like, how did you go about investigating both the temple, possibly the cabin, anything, without like making yourself known?
Well, I'm not so interested in not making myself so known. So
well, I
walk up there.
It's a conceit of the fact that we can't role play those scenes. So that's mainly what that is. We can't have those scenes RP'd out because this is all like in the past, right?
It is, yes. Yeah. But I walk up, and by coincidence, I might not be caught by anybody. Like I'm pretty aware of that fact that I can't hide well. Anyway, I walk up, and I'm listening to the spirits around.
Okay.
Like all the creatures, and I know that the creature of disobedience, the brown creature of disobedience, lives somewhere up there, and I'm pretty sure that I soon will feel its presence if it's really there. If the spirits have told me the truth, or wanted to disguise me, who knows?
I love it.
So my senses are wide open.
Good. All right, so not necessarily trying to hide, but like just sort of, but not being seen nonetheless. Okay, it's got a bit of that. Yeah. And basically just casting out like a wide psychic net to find out what you can find out. I'm into that. Okay, cool. Roll plus wisdom, please.
I have dice, finally. That's a 4.
A 4, okay.
Wisdom 2, but if I roll snake eyes, there's not much I can do.
There's not much you can do about that. Go ahead and mark an XP. On a miss, you get to ask me any one question you like. I will answer this question truthfully, but not necessarily completely. You will also draw the attention of the brown spirit of disobedience, or the brown creature of disobedience. You may not know that. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't know it. But you can ask any single question you want, and I will tell you. I will answer truthfully. So you can think about it for a minute if you wish.
Yeah, but how can I get in control of the brown creature of disobedience?
The creature is there. but it's not in the same plane of existence as you, you will need to go to the plane of existence that it is at. So.
I will.
I see an objection from Kravis.
Nah, this just in Kravis's head. Take control of the brown creature of disobedience.
Doesn't seem like it should work,
Yeah,
huh?
therefore.
You guys are
You
all
need to
built on paradox.
choose your
It's all
control.
right.
Yeah, but that's
Crazy science.
otherwise.
Okay.
Being courageous in front of the creature of fear and control the creature of disobedience.
Go on with your bad self.
Yes. All right, let's go down to the valley to find my companions.
Indeed. All right, so good. All right, so let's just talk about now, like where we're at, like as a group. So Arcon's going to come back to join you all, and it's. I think we decided that I think we left it being somewhat like mid-morning last time, right?
Yeah, last we saw our heroes, they were surrounding Pate's home, waiting
Two of the
for
heroes, right?
yeah, two of them were, and waiting for our third Weary to break in. But then we heard the crazy lady with her sword out wandering right
that's
nearby.
right. She's wandering nearby. That's right. That's exactly what happened. Okay, so we'll pick up from that for sure. Just in terms of our little meta conversation here. I mean, I think things are pretty well in motion. I'm not sure what else we need to really discuss. If there's any like flag notes anybody wants to point out before we begin, I think that'd be great. Like if you want someone to hit a certain flag or you're looking at a certain flag.
Yeah, I just want to look at him again.
Sure, go for it. I'm gonna go refill my coffee while you guys look at flags.
Yeah, because I was not around. Yeah. Ask for my help in interrogating someone. Well, somebody who can read other people's minds is possibly of help.
That sure could be helpful in working out this whole Pate situation.
Oh, I don't know if I want to enter that mind.
Exactly.
Hey, we're gonna ask for your help regardless.
I don't care. I will go in. Yes.
That's a big pool of milky brain fluid right there.
There's something inside of him.
Also eager to learn about your secrets.
Hey, Fraser, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
So we leaned kind of heavy into the Weary name thing last time.
Yeah.
Are you cool with that? Do you want us to draw back on that, or do you want us to change it up?
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're going to stick to that sort of approach.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have abridged his flag from tease out information about my name to tease my name.
Yeah, pretty much. I should amend that. Get all the XP.
Kravis, harm or threaten to harm, reveal person. Challenge your faith in an institution.
And my alignment is that I need to upset a relationship to see what happens. So
It doesn't necessarily mean us. There's plenty of other relationships out there.
Oh yeah.
but yours are the most interesting. So.
I feel like our relationships are already upset.
One could say so. Yeah.
It would be fairly easy to upset us with Weary again, though, if he withholds information again.
That was a good scene last time.
Yes.
Yeah, Weary is. I was trying to make an exhaustion joke, but I couldn't do it.
He has worn our patience out. With
He's
his...
worn out your patience. All right, good. Well, let's talk flags real quick. What do you guys think about flags this session? What's looking good? What's looking tappable?
I think we're gonna lean into my name some more and maybe actually ask me about my name instead of just teasing my name.
Okay, good. Or teasing you about your name. Good.
Yeah, we think that we might want to try and hit Arcon's flag of helping with an interrogation whenever we confront Pate.
Wait, whose flag is that?
Archon asked for my help interrogating.
Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah. I heard the word interrogation. My brain just went to Kravis for some reason. So.
Yeah, could also do the Templar flag.
Also, are we allowed to level up?
Yes, yeah, you guys can go ahead and level. It's fine. Yeah, if you guys are in the middle of a dungeon or a fight or something, I'd say no. But you guys.
Okay, I'm taking the shoot first, so I'm never surprised because I think this chick is gonna kill me. So
she may.
She's coming. She's coming.
I like how what I love about this whole storyline is there's no indication whatsoever that she's actually after you, like. But you just like think she is because of your like natural guilt, like you just feel like she's there to hunt you down. Clearly,
well, I think maybe the drink the blood of the faceless might be a give. Might be a small tell.
It might be wise thinking that's true.
Yeah. I took the. You could take one from the priest, so I took the have a divine ward move, and I imagine that's me pulling all of these like shitty religious relics out of my bag and kind of organizing like saints' thumbs and things like that. This is what I pull out when the going gets tough, and I'm kind of lacing those up.
Nice, love it. All right, so we've got sounds like we've got two good actionable flags on the table then, as far as all that goes. Cool. Any other flags discussion? Are we ready to roll right into this?
I'm good.
Cool. Somebody can might be able to hit my danger one at some point too.
Oh,
that's pretty easy.
We haven't really hit that one.
Which one is that? Let's see here.
Like let me go first into danger.
Oh yeah. I think we'll have an opportunity for that at some point. Maybe like Pate's house or something, right?
I'm picking up Enchanter, so if we want to make magic items, cool. that is possible now.
Awesome. Okay. And one other little detail that we forgot to mention, Garrett, you may have noticed it on the video. The little crystals that are the Azure Flame, those are hatred itself. They are a manifestation of the god Jezerix, the blue flame of hatred. So.
I told everybody from the beginning.
I know, yeah, it should. But
yes, I was excited to hear that, and I thought, don't give me the crystals, please. Don't.
Okay, well, let's begin. I'd like to go ahead and just get Arcon on scene. I think Arcon, I would love it. I think the way I want to frame this up is you're actually like just arriving back in the village, and you are the first one to actually overhear this warrior maiden walking around whispering to her claymore Shadowfucker, which she when she whispers to it, she like holds it like. She kind of holds it up against her body, and it's like as long as she is, right? And she kind of whispers, like loudly whispers. It's not really a whisper. It's the affectation of a whisper, but it's not actually whispering. And I think you see her. This is the first time you've encountered her. What do you do?
My senses are still wide open from the experience I made up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
So, well. From the scenes you have seen from me so far, you could see that I act a little bit crazy, but I can also act quite normal, actually. It's just that these are not the scenes we play out. But in this case, with all this coming back from the hill, I am not in a normal state. I'm in the spirit world. And so when I see her, I immediately realize that this is not something from this world, but there is something around her aura. Something is not what it seems to be, not at all.
Possible, yeah, possibly.
And when I look at the sword, I say it's the sword.
Roll DR, let's see how it goes. Unless you have a more appropriate sign-on move.
Well, I'm not sure. I have my expanded consciousness.
That's great. I'll count that as far as like what you can learn, right? From DR. So.
Yeah, so I can establish telepathic contact with someone you touch skin to skin for up to an hour, or have a brief vision of the imminent future. Well, that's not, no, but there's peer through the veil, which is you perceive phenomena invisible to mortal eyes, manifestations of emotions. Well, I was describing that already to some degree, but yeah.
Yeah, that move is just, it's like fictional justification for why you can see things that you, like on certain realities, you can see things that nobody else could see, right? So,
yeah, DR is with wisdom, right?
It is, yeah.
It's good, because otherwise I would have failed. So it's a 7.
You get one question. Go ahead and ask it.
What year is not what it seems to be? You know the question.
She is not real. She is essentially a reanimated corpse, basically. The real like power, the real like thing that's making things go here is Shadowfucker, the sword. Okay, she's just she's a pair of legs, essentially.
Interesting inhabitants this town has.
Indeed.
It's really time to catch up with my friends.
How do you know she's not real? Like, what do you pick up about her that makes you realize that?
Well, there's no spirit.
Perfect. There's none, in fact.
But there is a spirit, but it belongs to the object in her hands.
Yeah, she has an animating force, basically.
And this spirit from the sword is kind of weird because it's protecting itself from me. I can't look inside. It has like thorns around it. I can't touch them spiritually.
Nice. I think at this point, like maybe you'll cross the yard and see your companions. You all see Arcon plus Shadowfucker and the Warrior Maiden. How do you all react? Let's just go around the table and find out what you're doing.
I kind of sigh because I'm like, of course, crazy draws to crazy. Both of them would come. Oh boy. And I just want to keep an eye to make sure that Weary is going to be deciding how we overall react to this. So I'm kind of holding position, waiting to see what trigger goes off.
Indeed.
Yeah. Besides keeping an eye on the back door and the back window, like I've had a lot of time to kill, and I've had this scroll just kind of burning a hole in my pocket. So I'll be reading that, trying to figure out what it is.
Okay, sure. This is a scroll that you got from Kuroko, Keeper of the Azure Flame.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just tell you what it is. It's an easy enough thing for a mage to figure out. It is a... Just gotta find that little bit. Oh, yeah, here we go, treasure. It is a scroll of protection from fire.
Cool.
Well, and I say to my companions, good to see you, and good to see your spirits are still intact. Well, except for the one of Logan, but that's normal.
And I've got like little glasses on that I'm like reading this scroll, and I'm like, really, my soul's not intact. I'd be terrified to know the state of your soul.
Uh-oh.
You would be.
You would be.
Start measuring souls now. That's what we need.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Now, is Weary about? Has he made his way down here yet? I heard that.
So you'll say Weary is like, Weary, you're on scene too. You'll say you're there as well. So, and you're aware of the whole scene.
Maybe like I hear them chattering and I see her going by, and there's just like a gloved hand that covers Arcon's mouth, and I'm like, she's coming. Silence.
And she'll just continue on. She's not like going toward you. She's just walking around the village like she does, muttering the things that she does loudly so you can hear her.
Mm-hmm.
I had an uncle like that.
And I tell you about my observations for sure.
Okay, well, so you reveal this information then, Arcon. Okay.
So she actually is just a sheath, basically.
Well, if we get her away from the sword, is that going to be enough?
Well, if she's just a corpse, I don't feel any sadness setting her free.
Hey, I bet that poison wouldn't have worked then when you were going to poison her to death.
Oh yeah, right. We should talk about that openly in the town.
Makes sense why she didn't want her eggs.
Yeah, she's just
She doesn't need to eat.
Yeah, she's just an animal.
She doesn't need to sleep, right? She didn't sleep either all night.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's eating on something, but not mortal's needs.
Well, can you lot see about this Pate fellow? I told you about this weird, terrible smelling thing that was coming out of his ears, was it? Ears into his mouth or something?
Yeah, from his ears and nose to his mouth.
Yeah. I want to try and get a closer look at this sword since we've isolated it as the source of...
Whoa. One thing that's going to kill us at a time. Let's deal with the milkman and get that settled out, and then we can go chase the sword, Logan.
Oh, she's just walking. I just want to get a look at it.
I need you to stay here while we take care of this problem.
Which is the flag, right? Yeah.
Which flag are we hitting?
I think I'm hitting getting you to hold still so we can come up with a rational plan flag.
Yeah. So I just start walking after her.
Oh, great. Jeez. How would we get Logan to stop there?
One of us.
You just have to try, right? You don't have to actually succeed.
Yeah, I mean, you can try and interfere with whatever I'm doing.
Be careful. Her spirit has thoughts.
Somebody go with him.
We just gave up.
I can.
Well, I thought.
Arcon, go with him and get him back here.
I will do so. Yes. Travis, you're always right.
Yeah, if you don't come back right now, we're gonna mind probe you.
Don't be
By
too weary.
this guy.
I'm just trying to get close enough to try and sense something about the magical nature of this sword or whatever, because it's clearly magical. It can't not be magical.
Yeah.
And then I would be coming back. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And the whole time while you're doing that, I'm whispering to you that your magic is really not appropriate for this.
Great.
It's not safe for adventuring in
Or as Arcon likes to say, it's perverted, right?
magic is perverted.
Well, that's a matter of definition of perversion.
So let's talk about Pate's house. So it sounds like Weary and Kravis are staying at the house and are going to try to go in and investigate this, right? So just a reminder, I mean, like Pate is just like in the back, like looks like he's going over his work, right? And he's not even mindful of this like white shit coming out of his face, right? He doesn't seem to be. What do you guys do?
I want to do like the thief thing and go in there so that I'm like standing in the shadows behind him and he doesn't even know I'm there and I'm looking at what he's doing.
Okay, so are you going to go in through the front door or the back door?
A window.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm into a window. Let's see.
I want to be like on the roof and like hold my hands and then just like lower my body in.
So he's in the back room. Let's say it's like it's essentially a 2-room house. He's in the back. Are you going to like go in through the front and then like sneak and then like crawl up like the what do you call those, like a beam above in the ceiling or something? Is that the idea?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay.
I like that imagery.
Like over the wall and crawl over. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into that. So you just open the window and crawl in?
Yeah.
All right. You open up the window, and as soon as you open up the window, there's like you hear like a whir and a clanking, like a, and like
I close the window.
And then essentially, you see like on the far end of the window, there's like it looks like a Gatling gun, but of crossbows that just like spins and it's just like pop, 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 like just really complex machine, right? Just firing crossbow bolts at you. What do you do? What's your quick reaction here?
My reaction is that I want to be so fast that maybe like by the time he gets to the window and sees these crossbow things or whatever, that he just figures it's like, you know, the local kids playing Nicky Nicky.
What about the crossbows that are about to hit you? That's what I want to know about.
Yeah, I'm so fast that I dodge them, and I'm in the house.
You want to get this? You're gonna roll in, basically. Okay, roll plus dexterity.
Yeah, roll it exactly. Oh yeah, we do it in Hangout windows now, right?
It's up to you. I don't care. You roll dice too.
I don't think I have dice for it. 2d6 plus 2 is 10. That's pretty good.
Describe how you get in, how you dodge the crossbow bolts and otherwise are safe.
Okay, check it out. So, what does the top of this house look like anyway? Is it just like stone or something?
I think it's like a thatched, like, you know, like kind of roof or whatever.
Okay,
or like a shingled roof. It's like a shingled roof.
I do that thing where I'm like laying flat on my stomach and put my hands there, and then I kind of like plank myself in the window, and then when the bolts fly, it goes into like a slow motion scene where I like twist my body and they shoot past me, and
Nice.
then I kind of roll in and land like squarely on the beam, and I'm standing on it like a cat balancing.
Nice. Kravis, you'll see those crossbow bolts like flying out the window. Just how do you react?
No, stop. Don't. I know he's going in there to do this stuff. You know, I minimal effort. I'm waiting to see what happens. If the guy comes out, I'm going to get him. I'm trusting that Weary has got a plan and knows what he's doing, and going to kind of wait out here. I will. There was a window that Logan had gone to watch Pate.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll mosey over there.
Okay, sounds good. Good. Let's cut over to Logan and with Arcon, with Argon. That's a gas. With Arcon like following close behind, a train of ducks, a crazy train of ducklings, led by our warrior maiden, followed by Logan, followed by Arcon. So Logan, what's your plan here?
I'm just trying to get close enough to perceive something about the sword, if it's like radiating a magical energy, or if it's obviously like in some other way exhibiting how it is magical.
Okay. This is just I suppose this is just like your sort of general like understanding of the magical world and how arcane energy works. I'll take that. It might be I think it might be a bit. I will tell you this just in terms of stakes. I will tell you that like on a missed roll, you're probably going to get her attention, and it may not be good. Okay. So
Right.
That's what I'm there. I know
Right,
already
yeah.
that it will not go well. I know
Right.
that. And this is why I'm there, just to get Logan out again.
Indeed.
I want to know if Arcon is actually interfering with me. Like, is that what's happening right now?
Yes.
Well, let's see how it goes. So you're gonna roll plus wisdom. Let's see how the initial roll goes. This is just DR on the sword, basically.
Okay. Right now I'm sitting on a 10.
Okay, so you can't actually make him fail. But Archon. So it's just a matter of like whether we get 3 questions or 1 question.
And especially get the extra question about the magical background.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you get that. You do get that extra little bonus question, right?
I would. Yeah, I would.
I'm so sorry, Logan, but no, I don't work. No, I don't.
No. Okay.
I let you on the 10.
Cool. So we got 3 questions, and then that additional question of when you spout lore DR about something magical or otherwise arcane, you tell me a little known secret about the subject.
Okay. Well, give me your initial questions first, and I'll tell you the secret.
Yeah. Like in regards to this sword and this lady, what happened here recently?
She is a construct. What based off what Weary has, we'll say Weary shared his information with you. Based off what you know, likely the sword was jammed into this body basically, and then it animated the body.
Okay, and what is about to happen? Like, kind of getting at like maybe why she's here. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. You hear her still muttering that same speech. Okay, like some version of it, some permutation of that speech. She mutters it constantly. This is a beacon of some sort, or like a duck call, just to keep our duck analogies going here. Like she's trying to draw out members of the Shadow Court.
Hmm. And what here is useful or valuable to me?
The sword is magical and really something.
Okay.
And now the secret thing.
The secret thing.
Yeah. So I will just to kind of put like a finer point on what's going on here. The sword is actually uses like the power of sunlight, the sort of like arcane power of the sun to animate these bodies. It's a sort of like weird perversion of necromancy, right? But it's like a good necromancy, which is so that's kind of what the sword does. And basically the idea here is they'll send the sword in first with its carrier to try to lure out members of the Shadow Court to get their attention, right? And then the real person will come up right behind and take care of the problem.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, I think I figured that out.
So how do you sort all this out? Like, how's this going?
Right. So I figure it out. I figure out what she is because there's like an obvious like wound that's hidden beneath some of her clothes, and it's not bleeding, so I know she's like not alive properly.
Right.
And then she passes through under the shadow of one of these buildings, and the sword like temporarily like dims, and then whenever she gets back out into the sunlight, it reacts to the sunlight.
Very nice.
And I look
like
at
more of a luster or something.
Yeah, it does something. And I just like look at Arcon and I'm like, all right, I think we can take care of this. And I start to like whip my robes around me to try and cast a spell that will help us deal with this.
Okay, I'm gonna cut back to the scene of the house. Okay, so Weary, you're in. Now what?
I think it's like advantageous that it happened because Pate would probably be like, "Oh shit, better check that out." And then my plan is when he goes to check that out, I go to see what he was doing at that table.
Okay, sure. Just give me like another defy danger dexterity for that whole. We'll kind of abstract that scene a little bit. See how it goes.
2d6.
Get the roll on the table.
10 again.
Nice. That will happen. He'll come out and you'll see him like he's like real stupid. Like he'll look at the window, and he'll look at his contraption that it's fired off. And he'll look at the window again. And he'll be like he's in deep thought. And then he begins like looking around to see like if somebody might be in the house, but you're already past him. Like just you can just so how do you slip past him?
I picture I'm like as he's doing that, I'm like scaling the beam to a taller one, like above him.
Sure.
And then I make my way like along those beams in order to check out what he was doing at the table there.
Just more like stuff. I mean, at a glance, just more like more drawings, more schematics. Yeah.
Okay. And then I think I'll just be trusting that the Templar is looking through the window and ready to do whatever. I can take this guy.
Kravis, you will see Pate move deeper into the house, where in the direction of where he is, and if you poke your head around the corner, there's a long sustained moment where Pate is like half leaning out the window, looking outside the house, right, seeing what you can see. Okay. It doesn't dawn on him for quite a while that the person might be inside the house.
So we actually came here with the ostensible reason to hire Pate.
Oh.
I knocked on that door a couple times and he didn't answer.
Right.
So when he leans out the window, I'm going to mosey over. Hey, man.
He's like, oh, he's like, hello, did you open my window?
I was knocking on it.
Oh, well, that's quite a powerful knock you've got. Made the window go right up.
Yep. That's what happened.
He's like, well, how can I help you?
Hey, you're a torchbearer, right?
Yes, I come from he's like, he instead of like going around the front door, he like awkwardly climbs out the window to meet you. There's a bit of a comic moment where he's a little snagged and he eventually like his pants tear and he falls down to the snow. And he gets up and pops up and says, yes, my long line of torchbearers I come from. My father was a torchbearer. My grandfather was a torchbearer. His father was a torchbearer. My great-great-grandfather was a torchbearer. His father was a torchbearer. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was a torchbearer. He'll go on like this for a bit.
And I let him because I'm figuring Weary can ransack the house.
Yeah, so Weary, you've got plenty of time. So what do you do?
Yeah, I'll check around for whatever suspicious type stuff while he's
do a DR. Yeah, just
doing his thing.
Find out what teat he is sucking on to get this horrible milky white putrescence in him.
Yeah, great. So that's wisdom.
Yes, wisdom.
Time to get whiz. Good thing I increased that stat, so I'm not at a disadvantage with it at least. So, oh yeah, that's a 5.
Okay. And aid would only bump you up to a 6, so yeah, you're fucked. All right.
Yeah.
Well, aid before the fact, if we're doing that alternate move, would give another die to roll, I think.
Oh, the alternate move. Yeah, I'm not ready to use that. I forgot about it. We'll do it for session 4. I forgot about getting ready for it. I don't want to do it right now. You find a lockbox. Okay. The lockbox has written on it in not written on it, but okay, so the lockbox has like a little plate, like a little metal plate in which a bit of parchment has been slipped. It's like a label, right? And the label actually says very important secret papers. Okay, it's written on the little label on this little box, right? And I think you go for it. Naturally, you go for it.
Yeah.
And you pop the box open, and there are in fact papers in there. But the box also has a very, very complex mechanical trap inside of it. Okay,
I get a paper cut.
It's a very, very complex, very, very complex trap where essentially, like, as soon as you would open it, the place where your wrist would fall in an angle, a little needle like just pops up and sticks you right in the wrist, right, for maximum blood infusion, and and I think you just go to sleep. You just fall. You just slump.
Oh, great!
That's that. Although, what's your poison mastery? What kind of poison do you have on your poison mastery?
The sleeping one.
Oh, okay. So this is maybe not the same exact poison, but I will give you a chance to resist it since you have that poison mastery poison. Just give me a con roll.
I'm like the Princess Bride guy, right? Both cups have the poison. I've been drinking my whole life. So con, I have nothing. Okay, we'll see. Might be a leveling up session for me. Oh no, I got a 9.
Okay, nice. I think you're going to resist the poison, but you're going to just have a -1 ongoing for a little while. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Well,
really weary.
Yeah. Let's smash cut over to back to Logan and Arcon. So Logan, what's your big plan here?
The plan is to cast a spell that will bring clouds in to blot out the sun for as long as it takes to get this sword unpowered.
Ah, very good. That's in keeping with your storm magic, I think.
Yep.
If so, Archon, what will you do? Like once the because I think it'll probably require Logan. Logan will probably require your attention to keep the the magic going, so that Archon can take action. Archon, what will you do if this works?
I was quite impressed, honestly, by Logan's because he made it to crack this thorny shelf to look inside of the sword. That was quite impressive. And well, Logan, I think your magic can be of use sometimes. You need to explain that to me later.
Yeah, and I'm like dancing around, like billowing my robes, like bringing them hither and thither, and like doing like flips and things like that. And I'm like, it's really just all in the form. And have I told you the metaphor about the beard? I'd almost helped my dwarf friend. I don't know if that will help you.
There's an old drunk nearby. There's an old drunk who has a mug of frosted ale, and he's drinking it, and he sees you acting all crazy, like swirling around doing this thing, and he like takes a drink and like nods approvingly and gives you a salute.
Well, and I take care that your clothings are not getting into the dog pool there. Like that.
So let's cast the spell. Let's see how it goes.
All right. 7.
Okay, what happens on a 7 to 9?
On a 7 to 9, the spell takes effect, but choose 2. It affects either much more or much less than I wanted it to. And it has unforeseen side effects and might draw unwanted attention.
Well, the unwanted attention is easy. If she is like just the advanced the advanced drone of someone else in the village, the other person in the village that person's definitely probably going to notice the sun gets blotted out magically, right? So there's that. We'll deal with that if we have to. For the first part of it, I think you've just got a small window. Basically, you've just whipped up like a thick mass of black clouds that temporarily block the sun, but it's not going to hold long. Archon, and you'll see it. Like as soon as it begins to take shape, like she'll stop. Like this is maybe in an alley. She'll stop and kind of like shake her head a little bit, like something's wrong, And she even sits down or kind of pierces the ground with Shadowfucker and uses Shadowfucker as like a cane or a walking stick a little bit, right, to kind of steady herself. You've got just a moment here. What do you do, Archon? Like Logan can't hold this very long.
Well, I'm observing him because this is the most interesting thing. What is going on here? I'm not interested in doing my own stuff here when something that interesting is going on. But what I want to do is I want to really closely observe what he's doing. So I might even go for discern these realities around this.
Around Logan?
Yes. That's what I'm. Yeah.
So you're not going to do something about the woman who's vulnerable presently.
Yeah, I think I'm explaining the magic to him, and I'm like, "Are you watching closely? Something important is about to happen."
Yes. Yeah, the woman, he's taking care of that, and if not, then it's also interesting.
So Logan, it sounds like it's on you.
Yeah,
it is.
So I need to roll right into the next part of the spell.
Okay, which is
so I stop all of a sudden and begin waving my arms like this. I was doing flips and things, and now I'm waving my arms like this, and I'm going to try and create a whirlwind that will just throw that sword really far away from where she is.
Okay, good. Roll it again.
All right. 7 again.
7 again.
So that the casting saps me of energy, -1 ongoing to end until I have a few minutes to clear my head.
Okay.
And it either does much more or much less than I intended it.
I think it's going to do much more. I think what happens is you whip up this storm and or this like wind, this like huge gale force wind, right? It like she's already like a little weary and leaning, and it like she goes flying in one direction basically, and she slams up against the wall, and like as she slams up against the wall, there's as her face like smashes into the brick or to the stone, there's like a big like burst of white light, like pow, like coming out of her face, right? And she kind of like falls down, and now she's got just this big like gaping hole in her face, which has a shaft of light coming out of it, right? And she's like just kind of flailing around, like a helpless animal, with this like beam of light like going left and right, almost like a spotlight, right? As she's totally whatever. The sword, however, goes clanking down the alley, and a man steps into the alley and picks it up. And he says, "Oh, looks like someone lost their sword." And he picks it up, and he says, "I better do what I can to find the owner."
It's that guy, isn't it?
It's that guy. You don't recognize. You wouldn't necessarily recognize him, though, right? Weary would, but you would.
Yeah, and I go with a telekinetic strike.
You're telekinetic strike him.
And I said to Logan, "I saw this coming."
Go for it. Roll. What's your telekinetic strike move?
Wisdom. It's all with wisdom. It's a 9.
All right.
Heal your damage, but choose one.
Hmm.
You expose yourself or an ally to danger. No, that sounds great. I don't need to read further.
Okay. Well, so how much damage does your telekinetic strike do?
The psychic has a d6.
Right. Oh, it doesn't do more than that? I thought it. It doesn't do more than that. It just does the regular damage. Okay. Oh, but it does have forceful and messy. That's important. So.
Yeah, it's 1 damage.
Okay. So it does 1. Do you want to like narrate some forceful and messy there as well, or?
Well, it's all about the sword. So I go for his hand and squeezing his hand. Well, I wanted to do it more violently, but it's just a little bit slightly that I squeeze him, and his ankle, like at his hand, might be bruised at least.
Right. Yeah. His wrist. Yeah.
You can hear that already from a distance.
So he drops the sword. He's like, "Ah!" And he like kind of buckles over. And yet you are both exposed to danger somehow. That's a curious thing, how that works. I think he just like I think that wasn't his sword hand. I think he goes with his sword hand. He goes for his own sword, pulls it out, and like when he pulls it out, there's like a literal shaft of light coming off his sword as soon as he whips it out of the scabbard, right? It doesn't last long. It's just like a flash, right? And then he just like, he closes the distance really quickly between you guys. He already had to be near because of the telekinetic strike. And he just goes in. And Logan, you're still kind of caught up in your magic. And Arcon, you see this guy, he like lunges forward like just a few paces and is just bringing the sword down like in a swooping arc. It looks like it could take Logan's head right off. What do you do?
Well, my psychic energy are a little bit low right now. Maybe also because they interfere with Logan. So what I do is I ram my head into his stomach and try to get him out of the way.
Nice.
I'm a dwarf. I have like a good, like the balance is much lower.
Indeed. Let's take a quick break. This is a good like little tense moment to leave it on. Just be back in 2 or 3 minutes.
Can you guys hear my MacBook's fan?
No.
Good. It's like 7 years old, and it sounds like it's working pretty hard.
My PS3 does that. I mean, it sounds like an aircraft taking off.
Yeah, yeah. PS3 is bad for that.
Oh yeah, my friends does that too.
I hate it. Because of course there's some games I can only play on the PS3. So annoying.
Yeah, that's the one advantage Xbox has, is being able to play all the backwards compatible stuff. Whereas PS4, they were just like, you can pay to stream it.
Like, in theory, you can play the backwards compatible stuff. I haven't done a whole lot of it on the Xbox One, but I know the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility with original Xbox was garbage.
Yeah,
Like,
this one's good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they've made it so that even if you get Xbox Live, you get a free Xbox 360 game every month.
Yeah, I do that. I always hit the button. I never download them. I'm always like, I want that one. I'll play that eventually. I never
You should get, if you haven't played it, Beyond Good and Evil is amazing.
Nice.
So good. And that's just, it was an Xbox 360 game, but then they released it on Xbox Arcade in HD enhanced one. And you could beat it in like 8 hours, but it's like as good as playing like Zelda, I would say. It's so good. You're like a photographer and you get money for taking photographs of all the life, and it's like an alien world. There's a really cool story that's very like cyberpunk, where you're being like subjugated by this race, and you're a photographer trying to like find proof of all these stories and upload them to the net to like, you know, get the truth out there and stuff. It's really good.
Nice.
And I think it's like $5 or something too. So yeah.
Have you played the card game Android Netrunner?
Yeah, I bought it for my brother last Christmas.
That game is so freaking good, but like you have to find somebody who knows how to play it.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, especially for a one-on-one game. When we were sitting down to learn it, I was like, wow, this is pretty nuanced. And that was just the basic like starter level pack.
I love Netrunner, yeah. I played it on the Spiel in Essen. Yeah.
All right. Give me a just give me a hack and slash with strength.
Strength, yes. I always wanted to get some more missed rolls. Yes. But no, it's a 7.
It's a 7. Okay, so you'll be trading attacks. That's all good. Describe what you do to him. Like you're just going to headbutt him, right, to basically break his attack against Logan, right?
Yeah, he's getting close so quickly. I don't have another choice but just run into him.
Come into that. Boom. Maybe you guys even go tumbling down. I think that's going to roll into mine.
Yes,
I think you're going to hit him. Go ahead and roll your damage on him.
4.
Okay. And you slam into him. I think you guys are just going to like kind of roll down together, and I'm going to do my move when we come back. Let's smash cut over to. So Weary, you can grab those papers if you want, Weary, but you're otherwise like, how are you feeling right now? You're like, how do
I'm
you
really
what's
I'm really
happening?
groggy, so I'm picturing I grab them and put them in the like a satchel or whatever, and put the box back. But since I'm thinking I'm going to pass out, I think I'm gonna try to pull a Strider and like sit in his chair and then make my presence known.
Okay. So you're gonna
Like,
sit in a chair in the house.
yeah, and
Okay.
then like make my presence known that way, like sort of
Got
at the tavern for Lord of the Rings, where he's just like, I've been here the whole time.
I love how essentially comic everything with paint is. I'm really into it. Okay, so you do that. This is going on at some length, Kravis, with no sign of what's going on with Weary. And at this point, Pate is like he's started to go into like the various like secrets of proper torch preparation. And it all starts with like a good length of wood, because if it's too short, it's going to burn your hand, which is a big problem. They figured this out at some point during their sort of ancestral learning about torch bearing. And so this is going on for a while. What do you do?
God, it is taking Weary and God almighty.
Quite a long time. It's like unclear what's happening.
I'll say, Pate, let me stop you there.
He's like, oh.
Yeah. So how much?
Oh, right. Well, torch bearings, 2 coin per day.
Okay.
For those 2 coin, I will light a torch. I will hold the torch wherever you might need a source of light, and I will extinguish the torch when needed. For example, if there's danger approaching.
Okay. Well, we're going to need a torchbearer. I just want to check and confirm with you. We're going to come back to you and get you all set up on that. Awesome. Great. We're all good then. We're all agreed. All right.
He's like, I'll get my torches ready right now.
Yeah, you go get your torches ready.
Instead of going around to the front door, he begins climbing back in through the window.
I hope we didn't reset that crossbow trap.
No, it's
good.
It's a fire and forget. Yeah.
Then I'm
I
just
think
gonna...
if you go around to the back, you'll see Weary sitting in the chair, right?
What the fuck are you doing? He's coming back in.
Like, I was gonna make a dramatic entrance, right, with him. It'd be like, you know, we need him for a job kind of thing, you know, but I was gonna like sandbag him from the chair and look really cool.
This is me with the shutters.
That's.
God, I hope the others are doing better.
Pate will come in. He goes in to he's in that room you're in, Weary, and he grabs his sack, his like traveling pack. He's got like a bundle of like ready to go torches that are already wrapped in cloth and soaked and all that stuff, or he's soaking them, right? He's getting it all ready. Yeah, it's time to go torchbearer and time to earn some money. And he's doing his thing. He has not seen you yet, though. His back has turned to you. What do you do?
Also, so the stuff that we saw on his face like receded when he came to the window and everything, right?
I mean, it's a little unclear. You can still see maybe traces of it here and there. Like looks like snot maybe on his face.
Weird. Okay. I wonder if like I should confront him about this or what. If that would be a good thing to do. Does anyone have flags that I can hit right now with this?
I mean, no one's in the room with you right now, so
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, call them to it or anything. Like, what is Kravis's? Oh, there we go. I could harm or threaten him so that he could step in. There you go.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. So from the chair, I'll have like my dagger in hand, and I'll say, Pate, you're gonna tell us what is happening with your what would be a cool thing to say? I think just from the chair I'll say, tell me about your milk white putrescence, I think. And I'll be like gleaming, a dagger will be like gleaming in my hand, deadly.
Titular line.
And now now Weary has just given us the title of our story, right? Tell me about that milk white putrescence on your face, right? Tell me about the song it sings. Weary turns around, or Pate turns around and says, hello. I don't know what you're talking about. And like wipes his face a little bit.
Oh yeah. So I get up and I start turning the dagger like in my hand, with like my eye gleaming at it, and I say, "You're gonna sing, boy."
Oh yeah. Well, so Kravis, you might be aware of this now, I guess.
Yeah, I want to throw the window open and play good cop.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. So you so you can pull the window open and like this is very funny. Like they're in the room. He's like threatening him. You're just outside the window, a dwarf like barely over the the
I've
ledge.
got like a stool or some stuff I'm standing on.
What do you say?
Whoa, man. He's on our side. You don't need to threaten him. Pate's gonna help us out. He's gonna tell us what we need. Our torchbearer is gonna give us the lowdown, right, Pate?
Roll plus charisma. This with maybe aid from Weary if you need it.
Okay.
Unless this counts as one of your interrogation things.
No, because I have to be kind of alone with him prior to
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, I think so. Let's make it a charisma thing.
Let's see here. I will roll that. Oh, little hangout thing. Let's pull that up. Slash roll. That's a 13.
Oh,
That's
nice.
pretty good.
He says, but I can't. I'm not supposed to say about the meetings that we have up by the temple at night. Sometimes
You don't have to. No. I say, stop. No, you don't have to tell us that. No.
He's like, oh, good.
I mean, any of that stuff or anything else that you don't want to tell us.
Good. All right. Good. So I don't have to tell you the password either.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, what is it? And then you won't have to tell us.
He's like, oh, let me just check my papers. And he goes to like the box where the papers are. And he's like, oh, I seem to have misplaced them.
And like Batman, I'm gone.
Usually paid.
I say, we'll be back to pick you up later.
He's like, oh, all right. I'll. And he's like fumbling around doing his thing. Let's cut back. So you are, you have just like, you're tumbling with this guy. You're rolling like in the alley a little bit, right, Arcon? And I think he like kind of shifts his body weight so he's on top of you, right? And he's like, creature of the shadow, I have drawn you out. And he like puts his like big like gloved hand like on your face, you know? Actually, he takes his glove off. And he like puts his hand on your face and he says, the light of Oron will reveal your true nature. And then you just like feel this like intense burning on your face. Like there's just like flash of light and it's like your face is melting. It's like just like really, really like strong melting, burning. You're gonna take a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I let it all in.
You should. It's D10 plus 3.
Yes. D10 I don't have with me in Costa Rica. Roll. And D10 plus 3. Yes. 8.
8. There's a scream, like Logan. You hear Arcon. You see that going on, and Arcon just begins to scream like terribly, and you smell like burning flesh, and it looks like Arcon's face is just like covered in like bright white light, and Arcon's face in this guy's hand. Right? What do you do?
Like I, in the meantime, have like retrieved the sword, and I'm just gonna drive it right through this motherfucker's back.
All right, just roll your damage on him.
I love it. I just got telepathic touch, so I can feel his pain when the sword is hitting him.
Nice.
I gotta stumble around for my D4. Ooh, boy, this is gonna be good.
It's gonna be a good one.
2.
Right. You get his attention. I think it's enough to draw him away from Arcon. He's not dead by any means, but just describe what you do here.
Like I would just try and grab this sword and like drive it through his back, but I'm guessing that's not what's happening here.
Well, that is what's happening. You're just not very good at it because you're a mage and you're scared or whatever, right? I think you should maybe get him in the ribs. It hurts, and he kind of like cries out, and he kind of stands up and he says. And he puts his boot on Arcon's chest as if to hold Arcon down, and then he looks at you and he says, creature of the shadow. He says, come closer so that I can release you from the shadow's thrall.
Yeah, and I take a minute to kind of catch my breath, and then I do come forward.
Okay. And then what?
I'm waiting for him to do what he tried to do to Arcon.
He does.
And I will counter
his face.
As soon as it starts to glow, I'm going to counterspell that.
Oh, nice. Good. All right. Cast counterspell.
Cool. 10. Yes.
What happens on counterspell?
On a 10, choose 2. 1, the spell deals no damage. And 2, I use black magic against the caster immediately.
Okay, nice. And what does black magic do?
Black magic is another move that I have to roll.
Oh, okay.
When you weave a spell to inflict pain, choose 2 tags and roll plus intelligence.
All right, go for it. What tag?
The 2 tags that I'm going to pick off of here are forceful and debilitating.
Nice. As long as you succeed, you'll take him out with debilitating. I just need the fiction of what you do, and roll, of course.
Yep. 11.
11. Nice.
So that would deal 1d8 damage, and that would be it. Yeah.
Yeah, you might kill him outright. If you don't kill him outright, you'll at least you'll be safe in the scene.
Yeah, it only deals 1 damage, but it is forceful and debilitating.
Okay, so just describe what happens.
Yeah, so it starts to glow, and then like it starts to dim, and I kind of look him in the eye, and I'm like, "You chose poorly," and like it just explodes off his hand, and he goes flying backwards. Nice. Until like he hits the wall and it hits his head, and there's like a loud crack as the back of his head hits the stone.
Nice. And he's just kind of like, he's there. At this point, the warrior maiden, she's not moving anymore, and there's just like, she's just a body, just a sack of flesh, basically, like on the ground. But he's next to her, cupping the back of his head, and he's about to lose consciousness. Like he looks like he's about to lose consciousness. What do you guys do?
Oh. Well, for me, it's time to pay back. Just all the pain I just felt, I want to send it back to him.
Your face is literally melted too. I think I'm probably going to give you charisma debility.
So what is going on with my face? I send it back. So telekinetically, I heat up the air around his face to burn him back. Exactly the same way as he did. I would do another telekinetic strike, but it has a psychological component.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
We thought Kravis was the cruel one.
Kravis is a butterfly, still waiting. You remember? Yeah. I got a 13.
Oh, nice. I'll just let you kill him if you want. Just describe it.
I'm asking Arcon if he's going to like interrogate this guy, like if he's going to figure out if there's more of these big guys around here, as he's like starting to heat up the air. I don't even know if he pays attention to me, though.
Yeah, no, he's probably just pissed off and angry and pain, right?
Well, because our victim is, because I still have telepathic contact, and while I kill him, I keep that contact, that for sure. Okay. So Logan, I say, I did that already. I have interrogated him already. And then I burn the same kind of wound into his face as he did to me, and return the flavor.
I think it'll kill him. I think you probably go a little too hard, and it'll basically just like melt away his face and eyes, and eventually like collapse his skull and kill him. You will learn some things, though. You will learn that he was here to retrieve something from the village, something from the mayor, and that the drone of the Shadowfucker drone was mostly just to, if on the off chance there was like Shadow Court activity in the village, he'd take care of that too. But that wasn't his main mission.
Yeah, and that's the way how we found them. What a coincidence that there are no Shadow Court members around here, and that's the way how we found them.
So let's cut away from that little gruesome bit of story and talk about what the other group is doing. You guys have you've learned some things. You've learned that tonight there's going to be some kind of like trek up to the temple. They're going to be doing something with this stuff. It's probably connected to what makes some of them so smart. And there are a series of passwords on the papers written down.
Nice job, man. Nice job.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of us trying to figure out these passwords comically as it keeps like cutting back and forth to like that guy's face getting messed up and stuff.
Right. It's like, could it be this one? I don't know. Like, was this one on top? Does that mean it was the most recent one received? Like, and so forth.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy's like,
screaming.
Yeah.
Hey! Don't fall asleep. Come on.
Yeah.
I said a -1 ongoing. I think what I want to do actually, Weary, is just give you I just want to give you a debility on your. I'm going to give you a debility on your int.
Okay.
And I'm going to give Arcon. I'm going to give you a debility on charisma because your face is like fucking melted. So
How do I do this on the sheet?
Oh, you can just like put a little X or something there.
Oh, okay, but the sheet doesn't do anything for me.
No, the sheet doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Just so you know, or so I know as well.
Gotcha.
Some people highlight. Some people make the cell red just to like emphasize it. You know.
I don't know how to do that. Okay.
I'll do it for you. Just highlight red.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right.
I'll say let's get this stuff together and let's go see. I mean, we'll find out all the information they got from just watching that the woman and not doing anything to her, and then we'll see what we have to do next, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure they didn't do anything.
Absolutely. I look at it. The unspoken is they've clearly fucked with this really badly. It's awful.
You're gonna find them. You're gonna find them in an alley with an old drunk and 2 dead bodies. Basically, is what you're gonna discover. The old drunk takes a drink and kind of nods approvingly as this is all going on. Right?
Well, that seems to have gone well, guys.
Yeah, and he would be like the Stan Lee of Dungeon World.
Sage Latora.
Yeah, exactly. Sage or Adam are the ones drinking.
They like raise a mug.
Yeah.
Not approvingly.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. You just found them. Yeah.
Oh, holy cow! Are you okay, Archon? Your face is like a donkey's ass right now, man.
Well, thanks for the compliment, Crevice. I was more worried about you going alone with us to the milk thing. This paid guy. How was it going?
Yeah, you got a little bit of a slur there. So yeah, we might want to get that lip pushed up a little bit later.
I pull a healing potion out of my pack and I'm like, here, just take this.
I start staging the scene so it looks like the woman who's dead is the one, like they got into an altercation and killed each other.
That's good. I like that.
So there are 2 things. One is that we've got where they're meeting with the milk, the Milk Society, and we got a password. That's tonight. We can deal with that.
Are you guys going to loot the bodies, incidentally, of the 2?
Oh, I want their coin, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
We don't have any.
That's a good point. You do not. Yeah.
But I leave that to the thief.
Right, I mean, he's staging the bodies. He's probably rifling their pockets or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. I put maybe like 1 or 2 coins on the ground so it looks like a mugging gone wrong, and then pocket the rest kind of thing.
Yeah, the rest of it you'll get 89.
Yes.
That guy was rich.
I'll say, and what about Shadow Effer?
Oh yeah. Can you disenchant
his sword too? Remember his sword glowed when he pulled it out of the scabbard.
Yeah, I mean,
we couldn't argue. I would still argued about like who is about to research them first. Like that's the problem.
No. Your face is kind of. Let's let you heal up before you pick up the artifact that was powering the thing that tried to burn your face off. Maybe,
right. I mean, yeah. So I was still holding Shadowfucker, but I don't have the other one was wherever it landed. Whatever his sword is.
And I give Sage Latora a coin and tell him that, like, you know, to make up a story that's like crazy, right? Like angels battling each other and like stuff like that. So when the town guard find it, they'll just be like, oh, a crazy ass drunk, and we'll never know.
You got it.
Well,
yeah.
Could ask me for help, and I will also tell him a little bit.
Just drink the healing potion. I'm telling you, like it's gonna straighten that right up.
And it's gonna be the hardest to not make two-face jokes now. Like, oh, this is scary face, and then there's nice face.
You can flip a coin to determine what happens next. Right?
Exactly.
I kind of squat down and I do point at the sword that glowed. Is this magic? Should we be touching this? Not touching this? What's the deal?
Disenchanted.
May I touch you first, and then you touch it? Then I can feel the pain if it's something.
No, let's not do that. I mean, is it like a holy sword, or is it just a sword with some magic stuff on it, or intelligent-y? I mean, because is it useful?
Useful.
Yeah, I mean, I like stoop down and look at it, like eyeing it up and down, looking for symbols or anything that's on it.
It appears like whatever caused it to glow is just some sort of like ambient like trick or some cantrip from the guy's natural sort of divine magic that he.
Okay. I like grab his scabbard off of him and like put it back in the scabbard and like pull it out to see if anything happens.
Yeah.
Like seems like it's a pretty mundane sword.
Just a trick.
Huh.
Shadowfucker is not though. Shadowfucker's magic.
Should we take the shadow?
Shadowfucker's also very heavy too. I think Shadowfucker's like probably. I think he's at least 2 weight probably.
When I give you back the healing potion, I emptied it. It was disgusting, by the way. Then may I touch the Shadowfucker?
Well, you just want to touch it, or are you going to do something weird with it?
Touching is not weird.
I don't think that's the greatest idea we've had today, and we have had some not great ideas.
Well,
how about this? How about this, Arcon? Let's get out of town because we got some places to go to, and then we can play with the demonic shadow blade at our leisure. Maybe throw it off a mountain. I'm just saying, and deal with the milk crew.
Yeah. So, what benefit are you getting from that healing potion, Arcon? You getting the health? Or you getting the charisma?
Yeah, you have to choose one. Either clear the debility or heal.
I like my debility.
You'll still be scarred. it just won't be off-putting anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the scar stays. It just doesn't like gross people out.
Yeah, but a little bit less charisma. Yeah, that's fine. That's good for me. Yeah.
Yeah, the hit points might be more helpful just as a
hit points. I don't have that many, so
yeah
I take the hit points. How much is it?
It heals 10.
10. Wow. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so let's recap what we know. We know that Pate let slip that there's going to be some kind of meeting tonight up the mountain, up at the temple. There's some sort of password involved, and you guys have a series of passwords. Pate took the passwords and put them in a little box every time he got one, presumably so he wouldn't forget, so he would know where they always were if he needed to refer to them. And so forth, and so that's what you know. You also know just from from Arcon's previous like searching, you know that there is a little cabin on the way, and there's Arcon. Have you revealed the sort of like deeper mystery that you've learned about like this brown spirit of, or the brown creature of disobedience, and needing to go into an alternate plane of existence in order to subdue it? Like, have you mentioned that little tidbit to the group, or are you keeping that to yourself for now?
No, absolutely. I will definitely share that. I share more information about creatures around me than anybody wants to hear, actually. So the most difficult part might be to differentiate between the slight observations and the important ones.
Indeed.
Okay, so I look around. So that's on our table too. But let's go. Get out of here.
I don't think this brown spirit of disobedience is anything more than like somebody having a bad time with a chamber pot.
Let's go. We've got the Isabella thing to check out. We've got the cabin. We've got the milk people. Let's go. Move.
Everything leads north. Everything leads past the village.
Yeah, let's go. We can look at these passwords. I'm figuring he probably carried them with him at times, so we'll look for the one that's least dirty and hope that that's the most current one. What do you think there, Weary?
I think that we can do that, but I think that we should probably do something with the sword first?
Well, we take it and we get out of town, and then we can worry about the Shadow Blade. Does that seem cool?
Well, do we have enough? I guess so. Like, if we can do both, do we have time to?
What do you want to do with the sword? Like, I'm still holding it and like looking at it.
I think we should like destroy it, or yeah, like
Weary has an interest in it being destroyed.
yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea and something we can talk about as we're walking.
Okay, sure.
I was like, let's walk. Let's proceed.
Walk and talk.
We can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what its deal is, like while we're walking to up the path.
Yeah. Are you guys? So let's say it's like late afternoon. It's not quite nighttime yet. If there is a group of people who are going up to the temple tonight, you'll see them, right? Like this is a pretty remote part of the world. They would stick out, right? So, especially coming out of the village, right? You would notice them, and so you'll always know like when or if that's going to be happening. So you can kind of go ahead essentially, right? And up the mountain, about maybe I would say like a quarter of a mile, like further past, maybe not quite that much, but a little bit further past, you will find the cabin, and you can point that out to the Arcon, like, oh, there's that cabin. And then just beyond the cabin, up a little path, we see in the side of the mountain face, the temple's actually like in the mountain, right? Like there's like a facade entrance, like on the side of the mountain face. I have a picture of that actually. I'll put a picture up for you guys. And you can see that like a little further ahead. Like there are no big mysteries about that. Let me just drop a picture in the little picture page for you guys. There's a little document.
You cannot simply walk into the nest of the creature of disobedience. We need to walk step by step.
Okay, so this picture that I'm putting up, imagine this like slightly less green, a little more snowy, but otherwise it looks like this. Okay. There we go. Does everyone see that? The temple is essentially like set inside the mountain. That's not. It's only like maybe 20 feet high there, and there's like a door that goes in, and there's some steps that kind of go up to it. But you can see all that like as you're approaching first that cabin, and then if you go further, you'll see it up a little further ahead. The cabin seems to be situated so that it's within easy reaching distance of the temple entrance. Okay, like
may we kind of get off to maybe a concealed place where the four of us can kind of talk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, with some privacy, keep an eye out, but just so we can talk about what we need to do next.
Go for it. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's plenty of tree cover, and there's no one around. So
we'll get the four of us together, and we'll say, I'll say, okay, we need to deal with the milk. It's obviously tied to the keepers and to the keys. We need to deal with them. On the other hand, we have right now this horrible sword. So
still just
Arcon,
like
Logan, now why don't you guys take a look at that, figure out about that, and maybe Weary and I can just do a little bit of reconnoitering around. How does that sound?
Travis, you're always right.
It works for me. Arcon, don't touch it. Just don't touch it.
You broke through the shell, so it's your turn to analyze it, to get with your magic what is behind it. Only afterwards, I will reveal the rest.
And I'll turn to Weary and I'll say quietly, and we'll get him to tell us how to break the damn sword, okay?
I nod vigorously. I want this thing broke.
So let's talk about the reconnoitering. What's your approach here, Travis? What do you do?
I just want us to be able to kind of check out the cabin and then maybe the path up to the temple to find some spots where we can conceal ourselves. Mm-hmm. Or if we see anything else that we're like, okay, I don't know what the hell that is. Mm-hmm. Like they've set up some ambush, an ambush point, or there's some other traps or other things around. That's why I want Weary with me on that.
Okay, so we can do this one of two ways. If you guys stay together, it'll be 1 DR with aid. If you split up, I'll give you 2 DRs. So
Let's do one with aid. Does that sound okay to you, Weary?
Yep. Also,
Okay.
I have an interesting idea about the shadow fucker. Also, I think it's funny that shadow fucker is like a light sword, but it's shadow fucker, right? It's funny. But also, I was thinking it'd be kind of neat if every time I got close to the sword, it started like trying to like one ring whisper me, like trying to bring me to the light instead of the darkness. So that
maybe. Yeah.
as we like leave to do the reconnoitering, it like grows faint, and I, like I'm happy to be away from it.
Yeah.
Sort of
So
like
it's a light blade that's whispering stuff to you like, you should help children.
exactly right. Well, not exactly, but I mean like trying to
Give up
take
your
me-
life of crime and
like trying
duplicity.
to bring me back to the light, like a Kylo Ren. Like
Right,
I hear the light calling me, kind of stuff, right?
I think you can perceive it that way. I think we'll leave it
Nebulous.
nebulous as whether that's actually happening or not. So where are you guys going first? The cabin first?
Yeah, let's check out the cabin first,
Alright,
and
go
then
ahead
we can
and
check out the temple area.
Give me a DR. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. Do you want to take lead on this one or the next one?
It doesn't matter. We already hit my flag for me going first dangerously, so
Okay. Well, I'll do the roll, and you can help me on this one, and then we'll switch for the next one.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
and we only do the help roll just if it's needed. So
Okay.
Right.
I mean, in the fiction, you're helping Weary, but
Yeah.
All right. And again, pull this up. Okay, so slash roll.
The reason why I wanted to perceive that is so that I could tell Kravis that as a secret.
I have a 4.
Ooh. So I can't help.
I don't think so.
Like I could help, but it would fail.
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
leaving,
point rolling.
I'm leaving big tracks, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's no point in rolling. Let's hold that thought. Let's get back to the other two. So are you guys determined to study the sword here? Is that what's going on, or what?
Like the second that they leave, I'm like, Arcon, I know someone who could help us. Isabella's really good with stuff like this.
Sounds good. Yes. If you need help.
Perfect. And I'll just start like walking towards the cabin.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
do that. If this is how it feels like, if you want to explore this sword.
Let's talk about the two of you. So you are both you're both looking around the cabin. You're trying to figure out what's going on, like who's here, whatever. You're both, I think it's getting late in the day and the sun has fallen behind the mountains a little bit. So it's a little dark. It's definitely like, you're definitely like in like a pretty thick blanket of shadow, right? But not so dark that you can't see. Like you can still see, you don't need torches yet. And good thing because you didn't grab a pate on the way. And so you may live to regret that if you need a light source somewhere.
Yeah.
And so as you're both like walking around the cabin, you both feel like you could do it yourself if you want. Like if you stroke the back of your neck just lightly with your fingertips, you will feel this. You will feel this like along both of you feel it. Like it's like someone took their fingertips and like gently like drew them across the back of your neck. How do you both react? Do you both feel it? How do you react?
Okay. I'm going to pull out the holy symbols because that seems like really freaky.
Oh.
There appears to be nothing behind you. If you look behind you, you don't see anything.
Weary. Weary.
Do I have a move
Weary.
for this?
Weary.
Yeah.
Did you feel that? Do you feel that?
Yeah. I know what I'll do. I'll check for traps.
Where?
Everywhere. The base of my neck. Oh, it feels like a trap, right?
There's no ready apparent like source for this. It's just like, whatever. You guys are just, it felt like a spirit or a ghost or an invisible person possibly, right?
Oh man, I hate ghosts.
Did you mark XP for missing your roll earlier? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's like some sixth sense going on thing.
It's unclear. I mean, do you want to try to like? You can kind of maybe get a DR out of this, Weary, if you kind of like tell me how you're kind of trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, like maybe I've been kind of taught by the Shadow Court to be, weary of these things.
Wary of these things, yes.
Yes, but pun.
So you're are you stabbing around in the air to see if there's a person? Are you like looking at the ground like for footprints? How are you specifically trying to do this?
Footprints and paying attention to like maybe temperature, like if it's a sixth sense thing, maybe it gets colder.
Okay, I'm into that.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like maybe I do the thief sense thing where I go really still and like close my eyes and I'm like listening for footprints and the temperature and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. Go ahead.
Yeah. And DR is wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good because I don't have a ability on that. Straight up 2d6. 3. Not good. Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut away. Marking XP. You guys are racking up tons of XP today this session.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, so you guys are just heading up to the cabin. You're just marching up to the front door essentially, while they skulk around in the wilderness nearby. What do you do, Logan? You just like knock on the door?
Yeah. I'm like call out to her and like knock on the door.
A person answers the door. It's a woman. It's Isabella. She is wearing she's got winter clothes on, and she has like kind of auburn hair, long, kind of braided, and she's wearing like a simple gray sheath dress with like a fur around her, and she looks at you and she says, "Logan Stormbreaker?"
I'm like, Virga Strider.
Why are you here? What's going on?
Well, I'm here for lots of reasons, but primarily, I have something interesting that I thought you might could help us with. I know how you have a propensity for all things magical item-wise.
Who's your friend?
Uh,
And I think she like winces when she looks at your face. Arcon. She's like,
that's Arcon. He don't let him touch you.
all right. She says, so I have to admit, this is a bit strange, Logan, that I haven't heard from you or seen you in a number of years, and you are here on my doorstep in the middle of nowhere with a magical sword and a dwarf.
Oh, there's another dwarf.
She says, I see.
They come in pairs, I think. It's been my experience.
I've heard that. Please come in. And she ushers you both inside.
It sure is nice to see a familiar face. Ugh.
And she says, I was just about to put a kettle on. Do you want some tea or something? And she's got like a little kettle hanging on a spit over a fire, in her little chimney or little whatever hearth in her little cabin, which is just like maybe 2 simple rooms, right? And she's a little table and all that stuff. It's comfortably appointed, like bearskin rugs and things like that, chairs.
Yeah,
Interesting. I see the alabaster creature of Cheekily is here. It's cheeky.
The alabaster
It's
creature of
living
what?
here. Cheeky. If that's
cheeky. We don't use that word like that in America. I know what you're talking about. You mean
British
like,
English.
Yeah, that's British English. It's like sassiness or nerve or something like that, right? Yeah.
Sassinus.
Yeah.
I'm fine. The alabaster creature of Sassinus is living with.
Maybe. And she says she's tending. She's getting the kettle on, and she says, "So I have to confess, Logan, I don't have a lot of time for this right now. I'm meeting some friends a little bit later tonight, and you're welcome to stay here. You're welcome to have the run of the place, but I am involved in some very, very intense and interesting work, which I did intend to bring back to our order at some point. But for now, I am most engaged."
Oh, I see. Well, I'd love to hear all about that. But first, to the matter at hand, I'm sure that we can sort this out in just a matter of minutes with the two of us and our friend Arcon here.
Perhaps. And she looks out the window. She says, "But the sun is getting quite low. I think perhaps this may have to wait until morning. I fear. I mean, surely you're not going anywhere. It's freezing cold, and the night is long, growing long."
Can we aid in finishing your business earlier?
No, I don't think so. It's probably best if you don't get involved. It's she looks at the dwarf. She says, "It's magic stuff."
Well, that sounds like right up my alley. Is this
Yes,
something?
perhaps it is.
Depends on the magic, Logan.
He is magical of a sort.
I look into the spirit world.
The dwarfs are a very ancient people. They have the natural magic of the earth inside their bones and blood. But I fear that this may be a bit, when she leans in, a bit beyond his scope, if you know what I mean.
I lean in closer. I'm like, I can't leave him here with the sword. You don't understand what would happen if I did. We'd come back to something horrifying.
Very well. But you must promise me that you must both promise me that the things you see tonight, you will not tell anyone of them.
Certainly.
Do I have your word, Master Dwarf?
My word. You have my thoughts.
Do I have your promise that you will not speak of what you see to anyone else?
Well, the creatures are talking to me constantly. I can't keep them to listening to me as well. But humankind, dwarf kind, whatever kind, with 2 legs, I will not talk to.
She gives you a look, Logan, and anybody else would look at you and be like, boy, he's crazy. But she looks at you and she gives you like a sort of like a knowing nod, like, yes, I think I see what you mean. And
good.
And then she says, "Very well. Let's have a light dinner, and we shall proceed." Meanwhile, back in the wilderness, while you guys are scoping the area out, and you feel something creeping, you feel something like gently caressing the back of your necks. I think you're like in a little copse of trees, and weary. You've gotten down to like, like you're feeling around, feeling for heat. You are looking for footprints and all that kind of stuff. And Kravis, you're just letting him do his thing. Kravis, you notice Weary is like near a tree, okay, and a tall tree. These are like big, tall coniferous trees, right? And you'll see a large, like kind of dog-sized spider, like very quietly coming down the tree, right? And it's unclear if the spider's seen you yet or not, Kravis, but it definitely sees Weary. And Weary's not even aware. Well, Weary can be aware of it because he has that move now. But I'm going to give you the first chance to act here, Kravis, when you see this big, fat, brown spider, like kind of quietly, very quietly, like going down the tree.
I step forward and I get between Weary and the spider. And I mean, I like no question, no hesitation. Even if I have to kind of push him back.
Yeah, roll defend. Let's see if you have any hold on that. And then you can just intervene as needed.
Okay. And defend, I roll with what?
Con.
Roll. $12.
Nice. You get 3 hold on the defend move. Let me.
I've got it.
I haven't pulled up. I'm gonna pull it up too.
Okay.
Defend doesn't come up that often, so. Come up more often than it does, but for us, it doesn't come up that often because we don't do combats that often. So. All right. So you can spend those hold. You get 3. The one relevant here right now is redirect an attack from Weary to you, because basically the spider, as soon as it gets like close enough, it's going to just try to like it has like a little stinger. It's going to try to sting her. Weary.
Okay. Yeah, I get in the way. Try to get.
How many things can we inject in Weary's bloodstream? Like this session, I think is the.
No, I want to redirect it to me, and if I can, give Weary, if he follows up on it, give him an opening.
I think that sounds great, and you'll definitely be able to follow up Weary because of your ability not to be taken by surprise, and so you're actually in a better position even than Kravis may realize, right? Or a better position to react. Just give me the fiction on that. Like you're going to redirect the attack to yourself.
If I have to kind of get myself up and grab at it, and I don't say a word, I'm trying not to make noise, so even if this thing stings me, I'm not crying out. I'm just trying to get it.
Give me the 5 danger con, since you're kind of just taking the head.
Okay.
He's dwarfing it.
Mm-hmm.
But actually part of my big thing for the Templar is doing this kind of stuff. So con is 1.
Taking damage?
Yeah, actually. 7.
7, okay. I think you're going to take some damage from the stinger, but I don't think but the poison won't get you. That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So you'll take a D6. Take a D6 damage. No armor.
All right. One.
Okay, awesome. And then if you have any appropriate Templar moves as far as like taking damage, that.
No, that's if I get really screwed up, I can.
So you can just keep taking the hits and still keep going, right?
Yeah.
But you're good. Like you kind of grab it and it kind of like sticks you. It's just like rapidly like tap 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 tap, trying to like get at you. And it does hit you. It does hit you once, but doesn't manage to inject any poison in you. And the spider's about the size of your upper body, right? You're like kind of wrestling with it, right? And
Star Trek sound.
Yeah, battle with your best friend, the spider. I think I was like, the camera like goes to me, and I was waiting to figure out what was going on. And I think the camera like pans down, and it shows me with like my bow in hand, and then I like try to shoot the spider. That's what I was waiting for it to reveal itself, and reveal itself. It did.
It did indeed. I'll let you just kill it. I'll give you the advantage here. Like I don't even need a roll. I know I don't need a roll. I mean, I know like that. I'm just going to take the opening that Kravis gave you to let you just kill the spiders. Just describe it.
Okay, maybe
it's more interesting to me.
Maybe what Kravis does then, maybe if you're cool with that, is like when the stinger comes at you, it punctures you a little bit, but you grab it with your hands and like keep it there, and then I shoot the arrow, and it goes like point of view of the arrow driving into like it like stingers or its eyes, maybe between its like tons of eyes.
Yeah.
And
nice.
like right through it, and then it embeds itself in the tree.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Done. Well, all right. And once you guys get your bearings and kind of like, patch up your wound and maybe suck the poison out or whatever, if there was any poison, get all that done, you'll eventually like you'll even like kind of come down the slope a little bit, see the cabin, you get the cabin back in sight, see the light coming from the window, and even hear Logan and Arcon talking to Isabella Fergus Strider. So it's all right. What do you guys do?
So we see them doing this thing.
You just hear them like having a conversation in the cabin. Like you guys were staking the place out, and they just walked right up and started talking to her.
What the fuck?
We just got hit by a spider. You guys just walk up and talk to her.
Well, I say, They clearly didn't want us there, so they must be playing some long, clever game. So let's wait and see what happens, and if like they go somewhere, we'll follow them. How about that?
Sure. That sounds good. Do we have any flags that other people can hit for us? I think everyone has hit a flag already, actually.
yeah.
Right? Okay, so whatever.
Yeah, flags have been hit pretty judiciously. So let's take a quick 2-minute break. Quick power break.
Okay.
We'll come back.
Sounds good.
Never miss an opportunity for in-game.
Nice. Quinn Murphy is gonna do an incarceration setting thing for Cascade, where you can drop it into whatever setting that you want to do, as for a stretch goal.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool because it's kind of a blind spot for Cyberpunk. There's not usually, like much exploration of incarceration or embodiment problems thereafter.
The other thing I can think of is Death Valley Free Prison, and that's more of a broken prison rather than covering that topic.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Subatica from Ionis, from their stuff for Cyberpunk 2020.
I haven't read any Cyberpunk 2020, really. I remember watching an actual play, and the guy was like, okay, roll for your hygiene check. And I was like, I'm out.
There's some great source material there and some really interesting stuff, but so much junk. I mean, just volumes of junk there.
Yeah. I remember, actually, the only thing...
Cyber Generation. You should read Cyber Generation. I think you would dig that.
Oh, yeah?
It's the sequel when they go, oh, that was a little too nihilistic. Here's the next generation that responds to that.
Oh, nice. The only thing I know about it is the really problematic source material one where they did the tribalism. Oh, God. And everyone was like, that's not good.
I literally had a guy run a character as like the most racist Indian character at the table. And
are we talking about Shadowrun?
Kind of.
No, Cyberpunk.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, same. I mean, okay, Isabella. She's the sun is quite low in the sky. It's getting pretty dark. She says she's getting her things. Doesn't involve much. She basically just gets out, like, she pulls out this long, like, pointy needle like dagger, and she says, and she's getting ready to leave the cabin, and she says to you, she says, you're going to see some things tonight that are very, very interesting, Logan. I'd be curious to get your thoughts on it when it's over.
Excellent.
I'd also be interested in his thoughts.
In Logan's or Isabella's?
Especially Logan's.
Do you have a telepathic connection with Logan? You can make one, right?
He doesn't like that, unfortunately.
You can do that if you want to.
Maybe this is a special moment, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I also take the time to synchronize myself with the spiritual world, like getting my focus back. This is a perfect moment and a very good place to do so.
Yeah, maybe you can do that while you guys are, like, maybe you're doing that while Isabella and Logan are catching up or doing whatever, right? Like this evening. As you're kind of like refocusing and getting your sort of like getting your focus back, you start to feel a gentle caress of fingertips on the back of your neck, Arcon. This is inside the cabin.
Yeah, hello. I say mentally. Who's
you
that?
hear a voice, a woman's voice that says, "Can you hear me?"
Sure, I can. You're talking to me.
How is it you can hear me? You are a gem seeker. Gem seekers do not have such talents, and yet you can hear me.
The gems I'm looking for make me be able to hear you. So sure I do.
So much has
Who are you?
changed since last I walked these lands.
Well, there are not so many people like me around here. So where are you? Where can I find you?
She says, I have looked deep into your mind, and I see that you already know where you can find me.
All right, then see you there.
Yes, perhaps you will.
I will. I'm looking for you.
I'll leave it there. So Isabella just wants to get going at a certain point, Logan, and she's telling you this. You guys just going to go with her, or?
Yeah, I mean, we managed to,
and that'll leave the cabin exposed for Weary and Kratos as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, we like had like a meal and tea and all this, and no time to look at the sword.
No. She's too busy catching up. Surely it can wait till morning, she says. You're not going anywhere in this weather.
You're just trying to get me to stay the night.
Perhaps I am. What did you say the name of the sword was again?
Shadowfucker.
Ah, very, very tactfully chosen name.
I didn't pick it.
Oh, didn't you though?
You've taken to walking on the ground. What's that about?
I feel intimately connected to this place, I must confess. It has a certain energy. There are things going on inside this mountain, things that were here long before me, and things that are here now because of me.
Oh, I see. So it must be a place of power then.
Oh, indeed it is.
Does it extend all the way out to the cabin?
You could say that. And she says, we should make haste.
All right, lead the way.
Weary and Kravis, from the tree line, you see Logan and Arcon, I assume you're going. You see Logan and Isabella and Arcon like head out and trek up the path to the temple. What do you guys do?
We're going to shadow them, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
well, shadow fucker.
Okay. So you guys are so basically we have now they're going ahead. You guys are going behind them. Okay.
Or like a perpendicular path or parallel, not
Sure,
perpendicular.
Yeah, following
Yeah.
them, but not like
Yeah.
obviously. Sure.
Right.
That's fine. Eventually, and just to keep the line going here, if you turn around and look behind you, you'll see from the village a group of lanterns and torches of people coming up themselves, right, up to the temple as well. So,
Yeah.
Wow, they do have very well made torches.
they're
Right.
very good
Right.
torches. They're known for it.
And one of them is
And-
Peyton.
So Archon, do we have a
Interesting.
telepathic link right now?
If you want, yes.
Yeah, I'm acting very cheery and all of this, but like in my mind that I say to you, I'm like, if there's something with the keeper going on up here, we're probably about to find it.
Hmm. I want to let you be with me while I take a brief vision into the future, as one of my psychic abilities allows me to do.
Indeed.
I have a
Do you
brief
spend a
vision
focus
of
for
the
that?
exactly. I have a brief vision of the imminent future, as if you had to discern realities and ask what is about to happen. Take +1 forward when acting on the answer. And Logan, please listen carefully as well.
Isabella is going to perform a ritual for the villagers who are coming up. She is merely the she's just there to perform the ritual, a ritual involving someone else inside the temple who's going to make themselves known.
Yeah, sounds promising, doesn't it, Logan?
Yeah, there's just like one word in my mind. It's just keeper.
Yes, we are at the right place at the right time. We shouldn't catch. We should catch up with our friends.
No, they're going to catch
I
up.
think they're coming as well.
Possibly. So yeah, Weary and Kravis, you'll be aware of the group of villagers coming up the path too. Are you guys just going to hold your position, or are you going to like circle back and meet them, or what?
Is there a way for us to kind of follow them up, get ourselves in position, let them go into whatever cavern, let the other people go by, and then we sneak in?
Yeah, I mean, you can just watch for a while and make your move whenever you feel the need to. I think that's okay.
This is actually another attempt. I'll turn to Weary and I'll say, I'm more about busting heads and threatening people. What do you think? You know the sneaky shit.
Yeah, like maybe we can kind of see where they're going and go even like ahead and get ourselves situated in this place to help them if we need to later.
Okay. I'm going to let him take lead. Like if he tells me what to do, I do it.
Indeed. Arcon and Logan, you guys will get to you'll go up the little steps. Actually, I think you don't actually you go right to the bottom of the steps that are in that picture, the steps that lead up to the entrance of the temple. And that's where Isabella sets up. She basically, there's not much to do. She kind of just, she takes out her knife and she washes it with a bit of water, and she dries it, and she says some words over it, right? These are of an arcane nature. I think it's mostly some sort of, it's just, you can tell Logan's just some low-level magic, so that like basically whatever she cuts, I think whatever she cuts, she wants it to cut true and not to do anything too, damaging. And she's doing all that, and she says, "We will be joined shortly." And she looks down the hill. You see the group of people approaching. She says, "Now I will tell you what you're about to see, gentlemen, is going to be a little unnerving at first, but trust, Logan, that we are witnessing, I don't know, we're witnessing something that's on the tip of the spear, vanguard, the future. I think we are on the very, very precipice of a new level of human awareness and understanding. And I think you're going to be most surprised by what you witness."
Well, just so we don't react poorly, maybe you should just tell us what we're about to see.
"Well, I fear that would ruin the effect," she says with a smile. "But let's just say there is someone inside that temple who's doing very, very important work. I am merely his assistant."
He's waiting for us.
I've never known you to be any man's assistant.
This man needs all the help he could get. And eventually the villagers will arrive, and you're all in position, Weary and Kravis, you can see all this and hear all this. The villagers arrive. There's about maybe a dozen of them. And and Isabella looks out. She says, "Smaller group than normal." And one of them says, "People poking around. We're trying not to arouse too much suspicion." It's one of the old men. And you do not see Pate. Pate is actually not there. But a number of other villagers are, including some of those old men who are like really good at the math and stuff, and some other people you don't recognize. And she says, "Well, the word I received is that Yedrick has managed to successfully engage his process, and so we will receive the fruits of that effort this night. Are you all ready?" They all nod. She says, "Speak the word into my ear." And she goes among them, and they each like lean into her ear and whisper a word. And after they whisper the word, she nods. She says, "Good." And now we wait.
Out of character, I'm pretty sure it was a bad idea to come here and also break Shadowfucker. Like two really bad things maybe coming together here.
I think they're pretty unrelated, but we'll see.
Yeah, Shadowfucker. Yeah, and Shadowfucker's still intact, right? I mean, like it's just you brought it though. It's with you, or did you leave it back at the cabin?
No, it's all bundled up. Like I don't.
Yeah.
The crystal with the god of hate. Shadowfucker.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about all the shit.
Around.
I don't want to talk about all the shit I'm carrying.
So eventually you hear like a grinding of metal on stone as this door to the temple opens. Okay. And I think you see a procession, I guess is the best way to describe it, it looks like a pair of large stone statues moving. They have heavy footsteps, like clunk, 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 and they are carrying, one in front and one in back, a litter on their shoulders. Okay, and on this litter that they're carrying on their shoulders. Once they get out of the door, they raise it up on their shoulders. Initially, they're just kind of carrying it like, down. On this litter, there is a man wearing just like a white sort of caftan, very, very bloated, very bloated man, like distended body, fat, little Dr. Moreau-ish kind of look, right? And these statues, like, basically just they just carry this individual down the steps into this little space where all these people are gathered and where Isabella is with her knife. And the statues, they're golems. They lower the man, and the man says, "The gods have spoken to me, and I have received their nectar and transmuted it in my body, and it is ready for you." And Isabella goes over and she raises up the caftan off of his body, covering his face. So all we see is just like below his neck. And you just see his body is covered in these like wide, thick, pus-filled sores all over his body, on his stomach, on his arms, on his legs. And she turns and says, "Who will be the first to receive the wisdom of the gods?" In the meantime, I want to just poll everyone and find out what you're thinking is going on. Logan.
I want to know how strong of like a keeper vibe I'm getting from all of this. Like, I am digging deep in my knowledge on all of that in my head, like thinking about if I can confirm that this is a keeper.
You can be certain that the church, whatever this is, the church probably wants it dead. So I don't think that's too far of a stretch.
Yeah.
What about you, Arcon? What are you thinking?
I am sure by now, seeing it for the first time by myself, that this milk-white substance is the material world manifestation of a creature,
Possibly.
of a spirit creature.
I think you can start putting that puzzle together. Yeah, that may not be quite right, but that's close. What about you, Kravis?
I'm dusting myself off, getting myself ready, and looking at Weary, and I will say, "It's been nice knowing you." I'm getting ready to walk the fuck down in there and bring the law.
Sounds good.
Can we be like situated? Because like we went ahead. Can we be like situated like maybe like above on the beams or whatever, watching this and getting ready to like?
You can maybe be like kind of hiding in the brush, like near the steps, like on the slope or the hill or whatever, like kind of up above. I think that's okay.
Got the high ground.
Yeah, exactly.
The first person walks up to Isabella, and she has like a bowl basically, and she goes up with the knife to one of these like big white sores, and she just uses the knife to carefully like slice it open.
Yeah.
And as soon as she does that, there's a terrible smell. It smells horrible. Like Isabella wrinkles her nose. All the other people, they kind of like cover their nose a little bit. You guys have never smelled. Well, a couple of you have smelled it, but it's repulsive. It's so disgusting. It hits you all. Like you smell it like Arcon. This grotesque smell, and she just begins like basically like this pus just begins like dribbling into the silver bowl, and she kind of like digs around with the knife blade to let it like just dribble out completely into the bowl. And as she's doing that, this man on the litter, just like as the knife like touches his body, as it digs around inside the sore, he's just making these noises like and she has this bowl of this like pus basically, and she begins passing it around to the assembled people who will begin drinking of it. Kravis.
That is Kravis's nope moment. Once the first person lifts the bowl to their lips,
To their
that is
mouths.
when I am going the F down.
Okay, very good. So what does this look like? What do you do?
We're sort of toward a little bit to the back and up. I'm just going to jump down and I go, nope. All of you,
Isabella,
this is an illegal gathering.
Isabella looks at you, Logan, and says, "I assume this is your other dwarf."
This is the other dwarf.
He was supposed to appear now.
And she sees you. She sees your vestments, and she says, "Master Dwarf, I fear that we are beyond the jurisdiction of the church at this moment. You have no authority here."
That may be true, but I've got a big sword, and we're going to see how much damage I can do.
And I think she says, "I fear I cannot let that happen." And the golems like set the man down and like turn on their heel, like, you know, kind of what are they called in Doctor Who? The big
Oh, the metal men.
Cybermen?
It's Cybermen, yeah, like Cybermen. They just like turn on their heel, like the grinding of like their stone heel against the dirt, and they will go forward. They will try to interpose themselves between you and specifically the man on the litter. That's what they're not protecting. So what do you do, Kravis?
That's me moving up towards, and I'm assuming that my allies are going to help. I'm just trusting in that.
It feels like a big assumption right now.
Yeah, it's a big assumption. Those two are standing up there with the lady who's in charge of this.
It's a good point.
Shield, sword, moving up. And I'd like to move up, and then if I can, jig to the left to try and get around them.
Okay. Logan, let's just go around the table. I want to find out what everyone's doing. Logan, what are you doing?
I'm preparing a spell, and this spell requires me to hold very still for a time.
Okay.
Which is
what are you going to try to do? What will the spell be doing?
I have to hold really still because it's static electricity charging.
That sounds like it couldn't possibly go wrong. Weary, what are you going to be doing?
I want to creep up, like using this distraction to try to get a good shot, like backstab the gross guy.
Okay. So while basically while the golems are dealing with Kravis, you're going to reach up and just
Yeah,
right.
like try to sneak up and do that slinky
Sounds
stuff.
good. What about you, Arcon?
I appreciate that my fellows are helping to bring some chaos into this place, because with all this magic around here, it will surely open a gate to the planar sphere or whatever way I can find the brown creature of disobedience.
Okay.
And so I do my best to also whirl up the situation and try to get as close as possible to get a touch on the strange man, because from then on I will be able to find him. To fight him properly.
Well, so one person's about to channel electricity. One person's going to rush and try to touch the guy. The other person's going to try to kill the guy. And Kravis is dealing with the golems. I'm into this. Kravis, you're on point first. You're just trying to get around to the golems to do what exactly? Once you get past them, what will you do? Oh, you're muted.
I think my primary role here is to be a threat that they have to deal with, that I'm trying to get at at Bloody McBloserson, and I just want to do that so the others have the opening. If I have to take some blows, I'm going to do that.
I'm into that. I think that's probably I would say defend, but I don't think the golems are really aware of like the others yet. So I think what it's going to be is just give me a defy danger con, I think.
Sure.
And if you succeed, it'll basically be you keeping the golem's attention. And you might have to like take a couple of hits, but
it's a 13. I got boxcars.
Yeah. You're good. I think you'll not only draw the golems away, but you will you'll actually be able to deflect their blows and stuff too. Just give me some fiction. What does this look like?
So essentially, I am moving up and kind of getting up on the golems, and each time they hit me, I'm kind of trying to use that knocking back to push through the crowd to get at that guy, and making sure. I mean, probably there's some of the villagers there, and I'm elbowing them as they come around, and I'm making a scene, but each time I'm getting like another foot or two forward closer to the guy on the litter.
Nice. I'm going to switch over to Logan. Logan, you're gathering up your electricity, and Isabella like has that knife, and she kind of like brandishes that at you and says, "Logan Stormbreaker, I cannot let you do this."
I look at her and I'm like, this isn't me doing anything. As I'm holding like really, really still, she notices probably that
she has the knife up. She has the knife up, and she can see the arcs of static electricity on the tip of her knife. Right? She's like, "Logan Stormbreaker, do not try to fool me. Your magic is powerful, but completely conspicuous."
Am I going to have a chance to cast this, or?
I just think that I think you know what the stakes are if you fail. So.
Yep. For casting it.
Go for it.
10.
All right. What happens on a 10 plus?
On a 10 plus, describe it. Spells on a 10 plus, but choose one. It won't last long. We'll all need to hurry to take advantage of it.
Okay. So, what are you trying to accomplish with your electricity here?
Isolating us with just the golem and with just the golems and the big guy. Like lightning will come down in like almost like sheets.
Cause the villagers to run, cause Isabella to run.
Yeah, get all of them away.
Right. Yeah. What does that look like? Just show me.
It's like she's like brandishing the knife at me, and then she like sees the sparks, and I just like take my staff and I just like go like this, and like a lightning strike like comes right down between me and her, and then I turn to the villagers and I tap my stick like this, and it's just lightning strike, like making a wall of sustained lightning.
And keeping them away. Push it. They're going to run, right? Isabella will run too. She sees that you have the upper hand here, and she'll just run back down the hill. That's good. I think like we have a moment here, and I think the golems as well are like kind of distracted by this a little bit, and maybe that helps you out, Kravis, as you're dealing with them. So we have the situation of Archon's going in to touch this guy on the litter, and Weary's coming in from the other side to cut his throat. I think this could come down to, I think Arcon, what we see is Arcon, as you're going up to like make contact with him, you see Weary like just appear out of the shadow like he does with a knife ready to cut this guy's throat. Arcon, what do you do? We can't hear you. You're muted.
Happy to distract the victim, and maybe I can be of aid. So
I'm into that. Yeah, that sounds great to me.
In any case, I can still touch in the end.
Weary, you're just going to do a backstab?
Yeah, but can the backstab look like me sort of like jumping into the air and throwing my knife up, and then I kick the hilt of it so it embeds it into the guy so the lightning strikes the knife thing too?
That's very dramatic, but I'm into it.
I will point out that if we get another that I can also aid too from a distance, because I can shout threats.
Indeed. Good point.
My big thing.
I think I think we've done enough here in the fiction to where I don't even know if we need the role necessarily, because like he's pretty vulnerable, right? So I'll let you do that on screen, Weary. I think that's great, and I think you'll kill him. The question now becomes like, who gets the killing blow, because he's a keeper. So is it Weary or is it Logan? Like, what kills him?
I think it's the lightning, because like I think the knife
acts as a conductor or something.
Yeah, because he's really chubby, right? So I bet it doesn't even pierce him. So it embeds it, and then the the electricity,
It's like a nail into it, and then lightning strikes. And like, if I could suggest, like that might just make him explode.
Yeah, I cover. Shield is up when the pus goes flying.
Yeah, well, so let's talk about the pus. I mean, it's going to create this, like, I mean, no matter what, even if he just sits there and like sizzles to death, it's going to create this terrible smell. I think it's going to make you guys sick. Like, you're all going to take sick ability. As you like, you might even start puking like right away, right? It's like that disgusting.
Yeah.
Arcon, in the meantime, are you going to try to like do something here?
I want to touch him while he is exploding, and I don't care if I take any damage or whatever, because
You just
this
want to
is
find
the
out what's
moment.
going on. Yeah.
Yes, I can feel that, and go in and send also like my sentiments from the whole situation into his body while he's dying.
Indeed. I will give you the benefit of the keeper kill as well. So you'll get the benefit of the keeper kill because you killed him, Logan. But I will give you the benefit of the keeper kill also, Archon, because you're getting the same kind of insight essentially. So I'll put the text of the keeper move, slay a keeper.
On the like movie or whatever, could it be like Archon goes up and like touches this guy, and then time stops, and they're like talking as the guy's like slowly exploding and
Yeah,
slowly.
that's nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
And
Here's
I
the
open my mind
text.
to Logan as well.
Here's the text of the move. When you deliver the killing blow to the keeper, and Archon, this counts for you as well, you learn some of their secrets. You may select one of the following. You can take a +1 ongoing to any move directly related to hunting the next keeper. So that's like for the future. You can take a +1 forward to turn the key. That's if you try to do something with the milk white putrescence. You can reveal part of the keeper's secret plan. At the end of the session, I will ask you, what did you see when you glimpsed the keeper's secret plan? You will tell me 3 distinct images. They don't have to be connected in any way. Just 3 distinct images you saw in your mind's eye when you delivered the killing blow, and then mark 1 XP. Those are your choices. Logan, what choice do you make?
I want to take +1 forward to turn the key.
Good. What about you, Archon? What will you take?
I want to reveal part of the keeper's secret plan.
Okay, we'll deal with that at the end of the session, which is nearing. He's dead. It's disgusting. You guys might be throwing up right now. The land is charred from like a sudden burst of like electrical storm that ripped through here. I think the golems are actually like, they've stopped moving. Whatever was animating them is no longer around or working. And the situation is what it is.
Maybe it
mission accomplished. You don't have to go any further, right?
Maybe it starts raining and it looks like the golems are like crying.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
just at the end here, I just want to find out what everyone's thinking, what everyone's doing. We've got a few minutes to kind of figure out, like, to have a little denouement here as far as this encounter goes. What do you think, Travis?
I think I am not. I'm looking at the 2 mages because I've dealt with keepers before. They're up touching this. I know what the killing blow does. I've already killed one of these, and I know how that works. And I am deeply suspicious.
Indeed. Good. What about you, Logan? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we need to get out of town. There's no going back into that town after we have killed their source of whatever is going on here.
Right. And yet it was just a small portion of the town that was involved in this, right?
Right, but it'd still be really dangerous, it seems like.
What about you, Weary?
I have 2 thoughts going on. One is like, should I try to see what's going on with that milk white stuff? And 2, I want to kill that sword. I wonder if Weary would. Maybe like Weary. I don't like the idea of Weary specifically trying to do the milk white stuff, but I like the idea of it like being like hitting him and it happening to him to find out.
Do you want to go into the temple? I think that's like the next logical move here. The temple
Sure.
holds the secrets.
Okay.
Right. I just still want to track down the key.
Indeed, indeed. Well, let's just end the session then. So, Arcon, tell me your 3 distinct images. They don't have to be related to one another. They don't even have to mean anything. In fact, we shouldn't even have any notion of that yet. I want to build over the course of different sessions, I want to build a library of these images, right? So just tell me what the 3 images are.
The first image is related to the local scene. I see from the mountains an avalanche coming down, a landslide, a brown landslide going and flooding everything. It's huge, it's brown, and it's flooding the earth. The second image is related to the spiritual world, and I see like spirit birds, and they are all hidden in caves, and they fly out of these caves. I see them breaking free. And a third image immediately, or can I wait with that?
If you can, I'd like to know it at some point soon.
All right.
We can continue with our end of session stuff. Let's see here.
There is a dissonance, like a musical dissonance, and I see that dissonance is adjusting to a kind of white noise. And so the dissonance is always there in the world, but somebody is steering it to a white noise kind of thing, which is to the order and the chaos, and that is something which doesn't belong there.
Nice, I love it. Okay, go ahead and mark 1 XP. And let's talk to the group about our end of session. I think everyone hit flags, right? I counted flags on everybody, so go ahead and I was kind of half paying attention. So everybody mark an XP for that. Let's look at alignment. All right. Kravis, deny mercy. Yes, mark an XP.
Yeah.
Arcon, upset a relationship to see what happens. I think I like the way you were kind of handling the Isabella Logan thing. I thought that was super interesting. The way you kind of asserted yourself in that scene. But
I couldn't finish dramaturgically. I wanted to see when we upset Isabella at the end. I would have loved to make a comment, but there was no.
Maybe we'll hold that for next time then. I think that might be a next time because I don't think we're done with Isabella, right? We got 1 more session, so
not at all. It's troublesome.
Let's see here. Yeah, because in some sense you guys have like solved the quote unquote mystery, but you really haven't. Also, there's a deeper thing going on, right? Good. Discover something about a magical mystery. Yes, mark an XP, Logan. And Weary, yours is not written down here. What's your alignment?
Chaotic.
Okay, and what is the text?
Leap into danger without a plan.
Oh yeah, go for it. You like just climb through the window and all that, and all that business. Yeah, mark an XP. Cool. That's great. And let's talk about our group questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Yes, I think so. Mark an XP for sure. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? Yes, you killed the keepers. So mark an XP. Did we loot a memorable treasure? Shadowfucker. Yeah, mark an XP. So yeah, everybody should have picked up 5 from that. That's a pretty good little XP haul. We've got 10 minutes left. I anticipate the final session being like exploring what's going on in the temple and maybe exploring a little deeper what Isabella was getting up to, because surely she wasn't just there like to cut open wounds, right? Had to be more going on, right?
Right. Yeah, I want to probably next session try and explore the possibility of bringing her back into the fold. I don't know if that's going to be possible.
I don't think it's out of. I mean, she doesn't seem evil, right? Like she's, she was getting up to some stuff. It was more like an academic pursuit, a blind academic pursuit, right?
Right. Yeah. Like that's kind of how I perceived it. Like,
yeah,
she just got in over her head and didn't realize what she was into.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she may not be. I'm sure she's not going to be happy about this, but like you may be able to like bring her back. I'm into that. I think that might work. Yeah.
We get the sword.
And
we've got the brown creature of disobedience.
Indeed. The sword is interesting because the sword is, I would just tell you out of character, the sword is not connected to the present. like mainline adventure here. This is I suspect the whole stuff with the Shadow Court and the Light Callers and all that business is going to be ongoing with Fraser's character, right? But we've definitely gotten a taste of like how they operate and what is kind of at stake, right? In terms of that, and also there is the matter of those letters, right? Which is probably what Velo was in the village to do in the first place, right? When he kind of stumbled on you guys, right? So those letters that identify members of the Shadow Court are a thing that should be preeminent in your mind, right? Weary. And the brown god, or the brown spirit of disobedience, the brown creature of disobedience, that's very much in play. It's been hinted at heavily, like already in a couple of different ways. I think all will be revealed when you begin exploring the temple. So
yeah, I think at the start of session next time, or at least sometime in that session, I would like to do Kravis a favor. And because he really took it on the chin here, taking these golems' attention and everything, and I want to try and reward him by enchanting something that he would like. So,
using the blue crystals of Jezerix.
Wait, what?
You've got so many possible materials you could use, and you're at a place of power.
Yeah, I don't have to use stuff. I just use a spell.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like a ritual. It's different. Yeah. So if you think about that, what you might like, and we can talk about that.
All right.
I like that the scene with Logan was basically the picture too, with like
with the lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we made it explicit, but maybe next time we can pick up from those two the detail that guy was going to talk to the mayor about picking something up, just so that.
Just kind of bring it, yeah.
So that Weary has that info.
Yeah. I think so too. The one thread that I don't think we're going to have time to explore is that missionary we talked about early on that has these like secrets. We've only got one more session with Kravis for the time being, and it kind of feels like it's just never going to quite happen. So I don't want to get too. It might be a good epilogue though, right? It could be a really good source for an epilogue, but
I've got an idea for that. Yeah,
but I think in play, I don't think it's going to come up. Otherwise, everything else front wise is moving ahead just as I hoped. Like it's all going great. So cool. I don't have anything else. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, okay?
I have to tell you.
Sure.
So I'm here in South Bend, Indiana. Notre Dame, University of Notre Dame is here. It's where I went. They're having commencement this weekend. Mike Pence is the commencement speaker. Somebody just tagged me. Apparently, just a ton of students walked out.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I read about that.
It's a conservative Catholic university, and
it's
awesome.
surprising. Yeah, it's a really conservative university. I'm surprised by that. Yeah. Interesting. All right, you guys.